person
right,
that listen,
right, right.
a person that doesn't have a problem with something won't even comment on it.
I
It's,
totally agree.
yeah, you won't. But when you have a problem, is when you comment on it. So
Mhm.
that's the biggest thing. Now it's spreading. Look, let me give you an
It's
example.
spreading. Right.
A couple of weeks ago, I landed back in Santo Domingo. The airport was full of men, mostly black, but then boys, dudes of all colors, from Mexico, everywhere. It was full, all Americans with their blue book. They pull that blue book out, man. And these guys were coming for better options.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. So what the West tries to do, they tries to belittle it down to prostitution.
Right,
If,
right.
if a man wants prostitutes, there's plenty of them in the United States. The United States has millions of people. And if that's all you into, you don't have to, you don't got to leave United States. But men are looking for better opportunity. Men want to come and be around a feminine presence.
Right.
Because that's by you being masculine, you're going to be attracted to that feminine.
Yes.
That's what you love.
Right.
But you know how good it feels to lay on side of somebody that's feminine?
Mm-hmm.
That tells you, hey, baby, you had a hard day. What you want to eat today?
Mm-hmm.
To ask you that, how many women in the United States ask you what you want to eat? You know what the women in the United States ask me? I'm hungry.
I'm hungry, right. Right, and you're gonna hear Sim Smalley Sim Smalley saying, black men and American men have been so conditioned to follow a woman's agenda to the point they said we're not asking you to cook and clean.
Mm-hmm.
That's just normal stuff, Ronnie. You live in DR. I want you to tell the guys about your girlfriend, how she cooks for you, how she cleans, and it's just normal. It ain't no big deal. It's no badge of honor. It's just normal stuff.
Yeah, it's just normal. But let me say this too. You always got to put, because people always like to take the outliers and stuff. Look,
yes, sir. Go ahead.
There are feminists here. There's feminists. There's women who think like that here,
right,
who don't want to do that. But they are such a small number. They are women who will use you for money here. There's women like that here. Mm-hmm. But there's also some of the best, greatest women you will ever meet in your life here. And it's a difference in men who come here too. Mm-hmm. Like when you just come in here for that action, you know where that's at. But when you really come in here for something serious, you can find a woman here who's going to cook for you every day, take care. Now you're going to have your responsibility too.
Right.
You're going to take care of your, like, I always got to tell men, some men crave traditional relationships, but they're not traditional themselves. They grew up in broken households, and they feel like I ain't, man. Look, I was talking to a guy the other day. He was dating a Dominican woman, and I'm gonna continue, but he like, she want me to pay all the bills, Ronin. I'm like, Ninja, the bill's $473. Like, you can't pay $473. I mean, really? Like that's what he was complaining about, $400 and something. So I'm like, bro, so maybe you're not as traditional as you think yourself, because that's, to me, that's I drank more than that. That ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with that. And I've always said, Roland, you're gonna laugh at this. I'm from the old school. When my dad married my mama was a virgin. She had no kids. And I would say my mom was mostly wife-ready. And overall, my mom, of course, being human, she probably makes some small gaps, but my mom had no out of wedlock kids. All her kids were by my father. And I've always said, Roland, you may agree or disagree, and that's fine, but I'm not paying all the bills unless you are wife-ready, you're a virgin, and you ain't got no kids. Now, I'm a prorate based on how many men you've been with. If you've been with, say, under 5, I might pay 90%. If you've been with 7 or 8, we're gonna do it like an 80-20. But I'm not paying full price for women that have given their virtue away, because what I'm saying, Ronnie, sounds crazy to a lot of folks, because we've gotten so far away from the old ways that making those kind of demands sound crazy. But let's think about it. You being from Louisiana, me being from North Carolina. You from rural Louisiana, I'm from rural North Carolina. That was the standard, Roland, back in the day. Roland, that was the standard. Being a virgin, wife-ready, and no kids, that was the standard. We know there were outliers, Roland, where some women had kids, but even those women back then that had a child or two, they were grateful to get a man that would take on them and their kids. And they didn't count it robbery to cook a man a meal. But now you got women that got 4 and 5 kids by different men,
Mhm.
And they counted robbery, Ronin. Watch this clip. They counted robbery, Ronin, if a man say, if a man say he ain't gonna, if he ain't gonna pay all of his whole time. Where's this clip at from this woman? Hold on for a minute, because this woman this woman is crazy. Hold tight.
My perfect man would be a tall black stallion. He loves to cook because I'm not really a good cook, so that's his thing. He loves driving. He loves driving the kids to school in the morning. He's just really, really hands-on, with my kids. He's sterile because he can't have kids of his own, so he really cherishes mine. He's funny. We do movie quotes all the time. Every time we go around, we just laugh and do karaoke. He's smart. He is very good with the money. He takes care of all that, and he just lets me, make the beds. And
you got subpar women making demands, and it's gotten so bad, man, that men they just suffer. They just deal with it, I came out of high school, Ronin, back in 1990, man. I'm Gen X. I call myself. You got old X, you got middle X, and you got baby X. I'm middle X. I'm class of 90. But if you had a bunch of kids by different men, or you were sleeping around, and we thought they were sleeping around in Gen X, but they were better. I didn't look at you.
Yeah.
you didn't get no airplay. Women that gave their virtual away weren't seen as worthy as the women that respected themselves, respected their bodies. Correct me if I'm wrong, brother.
No, you're right. Let me tell you, man. I went to school on the West Bank of New Orleans in a school called West Jeff, and if a chick had a baby back then, nobody wanted her. You know what I'm saying? Who want her? Right. Who want? Look, I always looked at it like this, man.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want like we say cold drink? You want a cold drink that everybody them sipped out of already? No, I don't want no cold drink. Everybody them sipped out of already. You know what I'm saying? So that's no, man. No. Now look, do they have single mothers here? Yes, I got a video coming out about the differences because I done dated single mothers in the United States and dated single mothers here. It's a way different experience.
Thing, right? Yes, sir.
Look, I had to tell a guy this. One of my brothers, he was scared to date a woman who had a son, right? He had a bad experience dating a black chick in the United States who had a son. Even though the woman did something wrong, the sons wanted to whoop him. You know what I'm saying? He almost got into it with the sons real bad because they're like, that's mom, black dude. Mama, what you say about my mama?
Right. Hold on, Ron. I got one for you, man. Since you said mama, hold on, a minute, Ron. You gonna laugh at this one, Ron. Hold on. I got one for you. This called this Day.
Yeah, put chains on the balls on my mom. Maybe broke the balls, bro. Kill some on my mom, brother. He look like gang. That's on my monkey. Gang. That's on my monkey. Gang. That's on my.
That's on my mama, Ron.
Yeah, on my mama. But look, that's the truth. Look, that's the problem. So he was scared. He was like, dude, look, I talk to brothers every day. When I tell you I got a full-time career now, talking to men, look, I got your career. Look, I talk to men every day about these issues. I'm like, man, it's on you. Look, being a man who have kids, I don't really care if a woman got one. You know what I'm saying? I don't want a woman to have a gang of them, but
right.
It's different. And I was telling him, look, man, it's different. He said, what's different? For number one, the laws. Dude, in the United States, I know people who have been stuck having to be attached to a child that wasn't his.
Right.
Had to, boy, I know 3 or 4 guys who had to pay child support knowing that the kids wasn't his. The judge knew the kids wasn't, and the judge still said, well, that child knows you and you make more money than her. You need to take care of that woman. You need to continue to do that. Dude, I remember when child support is a mug, bro. I remember when I was in child support, and I remember my kid's mother didn't even have a place to stay. And the kids was, listen, she didn't have a place to stay. She started staying in her mother's garage. Look, garage. And I had a 3-bedroom house, and the judge still wouldn't give me my kids. You hear this? This is America. This
Right.
is how crazy, just like
Right.
ChatGPT is such a business.
It's
Look,
a business. It's a business.
Look, let me say it. It's even a bigger business than we think.
Yes, sir. I agree.
Why do you think that they want all these single mothers and they fill the jail cells up? That's what they, bruh. If we don't realize what they're doing,